The year that I became a believer, God came and found me where I was. And I say it that way because nobody came and knocked on my door. I wasn't invited to a Bible study. I wasn't invited to a worship night or an evangelism weekend. I was in a one-bedroom apartment. I was all by myself. And what I didn't understand then that I do now is that the Spirit of God worked in my life to get my attention, to change my heart, and to help me to see that God loved me and that Jesus sacrificed his life for me, and that the power of God that raised him from the dead wanted to be a part of my life in a really personal way. I believe God is doing something really powerful in the church right now, where he's drawing the hearts of the sons to the fathers, the hearts of the daughters to the mothers, in real families, but also in families in the faith, and this longing, this deep ache for genuine fellowship and godly community is growing in the hearts and the minds of his children. There's this beautiful passage in Acts 2, and it says, "They devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship, to the breaking of bread and prayers. And awe came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were being done through the apostles. And all who believed were together, and they had all things in common. And they were selling their possessions and their belongings and distributing the proceeds to all as any had need. And day by day, attending the temple together and breaking bread in their homes, they received their food with glad and generous hearts, praising God and having favor with all the people. And the Lord added to their number day by day those who were being saved." I'll be honest, I've worked in some good churches, healthy churches. I've also worked in some unhealthy ones, but I've never been a part of a church that looked like what's being described in Acts 2. I began looking for it. I began looking for a church that had genuine fellowship, that prayed together, that ate together, that studied the teaching of the apostles, and met each other's needs. Fellowship NYC is the church that meets in homes all over New York City. Let me ask you the same question God was asking me. What if you could be a part of a church that spent time together, more than just 5 minutes as you walk in the door and 5 minutes as you leave for lunch? What if you could be a part of a church that shared meals together, and every time you broke bread, you remembered the work that Jesus did to get you there? What if you could be a part of a church that wasn't afraid to ask big questions of the Bible and expect clear answers from the Holy Spirit? What if you could be a part of a church that would feed your family when you got a bad diagnosis from the hospital, or would watch your kids as you cared for your aging parents, or helped keep the lights on in your apartment when you got surprise news at work? I think a community that lives like that doesn't lose members because of the color of the carpet. We have a big goal to grow, with a hope to see 5 house churches in each of the 5 boroughs in the next 5 years. That's 25 homes, hosting 500 families, and over 1,000 souls worshiping the one true God in New York City. And day by day, attending the temple together and breaking bread in their homes, they received their food with glad and generous hearts, praising God and having favor with all the people. And the Lord added to their number, day by day, those who were being saved.